called out. The big diesel surveyed the shed. "Not bad," he said. "I've seen worse. At least you're all clean." The engines kicked. "It's not your fault," he went on. "But you're all out of date. Your controller should scrap you and get engines like me. A fill of oil, a touch of the starter, and I'm off. With no bother, no waiting. They have to fuss around you lot for hours before you're ready." At last, the engines found their voices. An inspector had to come and stop the noise. They held an indignation meeting early next morning round the turntable.
"Disgraceful!"
rumbled Gordon. "Disgusting!" said James.
"Despicable!"
spluttered Henry.
"To say such things to us
Burst out Dalton Douglas.
is to teach him a lesson we be wanting."
But no one had any good ideas, and at last they all went off to work, except for Duck and Stepney. "Never mind," said Duck. "We'll be sure to think of something."
"We'll have to be quick then,"
warned Stepney, but their chance came sooner than expected. Diesel purred comfortably. He was being warmed up well before time. An inspector watched the fitter making adjustments. The wind tugged at the inspector's hat. The fitter replaced the air intake cover.
"Okay, mate,"
he said. Diesel saw his coaches waiting at the platform. He rolled proudly towards them.
"Look at me, Duck and Stepney,"
he purred.
"Now I'll show you something."
He advanced a few yards. Then suddenly, he coughed, faltered, choked, and stopped. The inspector, meanwhile, had seen nothing of this. He was looking for his hat. "Can we help you at all?" asked Duck and Stepney sweetly. Diesel seethed with baffled fury as they pushed him back to the shed. "My hat!" exclaimed the inspector as the cavalcade went by.
"Bother your hat,"
said the Fat Controller crossly.
"The train's due out in 10 minutes, and you'll have to take it, Duck."
Duck looked doubtful. When Stepney asked,
"Can I help him, sir?"
he felt better. The Fat Controller was pleased too, and hurried away almost cheerfully to make the arrangements. The engines and their crews made careful plans.
"A good start's everything on a job like this,"
warned Stepney. So, as they backed down, they dropped sand on the rails, rolling it firm with their wheels. Both controllers were there to see them off.
"Gordon will take over from halfway,"
said the Fat Controller.
"so get the train there. Never mind about being late. Good luck."
"Don't worry, sirs,"
smiled Stepney.
"We'll get there, and be early too."
They stood waiting, sizzling with excitement, ready and eager to be off. At last, the guard's flag waved. The engines dug their wheels into the sand and gave a mighty heave.
Come on,
puffed Duck, while Stepney barked excitedly in front. Moving carefully over the points, they reached the open line.
"Now for a sprint,"
whooped Stepney.
"I'm ready when you are,"
puffed Duck. Faster and faster they went till their wheels were turning at such speeds that the side rods were merely blurs. Under clear signals they whizzed to Edward Station and charged at Gordon's Hill beyond. They felt the drag of their 15 coaches here. It was hard work. Once over the top, the last 10 miles were plain running, and they swept into the big station in fine style.
"Hello,"
said Gordon.
"You're early. That's when the head went for old Diesel. Have you heard the latest?"
He chuckled.
"Diesel had sucked the inspector's hot into his air pipe. That's why he broke down. James says he's sick as boiler sludge and soaking in the shed. Out of date, are we? Ho ho ho!"
And still laughing, Gordon puffed away. Everyone was sad next day when Stepney had to go. All the engines who could came to see him off. The fat controller obeyed his speech, and so did Stepney's controller. Donald and Douglas made everyone sing "Old Lang Syne," and then Stepney and his controller puffed off to a chorus of cheers and whistles.
Goodbye, Stepney!
Come again!
Goodbye!
Goodbye! But what about Diesel? Well, he slipped away the night before. He said goodbye to no one, but left two things behind. The nasty smell of bad manners, and a battered bowler hat.